Hi there. I'm Brian Haynes with Ideal Solutions Insurance Agency in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And today we're going to talk with you a little bit about breaking down your homeowner's insurance coverage. When you buy homeowner's insurance coverage, you're buying a package. And it's not a package that you can break down. You either have to take it all or none. And it's broken typically into 6 different parts, which are identified as coverages A through F. It can be a little bit intimidating when you buy a homeowner's insurance policy to understand what each of these coverages do and how they protect your home and possessions. I'm going to break down for you each of the coverages, how they help you, as well as point out some of the endorsements that you can add onto the policy to better cover your personal possessions. The first area is coverage A. This is usually the highest and most important coverage on your policy. Your coverage A covers anything involving your dwelling or the physical structure of your home. It includes the core structure, the floor, the roof, doors and cabinets, light fixtures, and much, much more. Think of it this way. If you were to flip your house upside down, anything that stays in place and doesn't move would be considered part of your coverage A. And typically you want to make sure you have a broad form coverage A or all perils coverage. Remember, all perils doesn't mean that you're covered for everything. It means that you're covered for everything except for the things that are excluded in the policy. Typically there's numerous exclusions in a homeowner's policy, and often people don't even know about a lot of them. The most common exclusions are things like wear and tear and deterioration. Your homeowner's policy isn't a home warranty. If a roof leaks due to old age or an old plumbing pipe breaks, the policy will not pay to fix the roof or fix the pipe. However, it generally will pay for the resulting water damage due to the incident. Again, there may be some policies that deny this coverage altogether, but will pay for resulting water damages from a wear and tear incident. The bottom line is you need to read your policy to understand what its coverages are. Secondly is your coverage B. This is a little less important, but it still carries a heavy responsibility. It's often the coverage where most people really are underinsured. Coverage B covers all of those other structures, other than your home, that are unattached from the structure. This would be things like sheds, fences, separate garages, or a mother-in-law suite that's not attached to the same foundation as your home, or any other structure on your property unattached from that main foundation. If you install a new fence or a new garage on your property, you want to make sure that you increase your coverage B on your homeowner's policy to cover that additional property. Thirdly would be your coverage C. Coverage C covers all of your personal property. Basically, think of it as anything that you would pack up and take with you if you were to move out of your home. That's considered your personal property in the world of insurance. Unfortunately, this is often the coverage where many people have a hard time within their policy, such as accidents due to major loss, fires, hurricanes, or other big losses that would cover your personal property as well. However, a homeowner's policy often limits certain categories of personal property, and many times it limits certain items of the peril of theft. If you own a large amount of jewelry or firearms or collectibles, you want to have those items appraised separately and scheduled individually on your policy. Once you do, you have full coverage up to that appraised amount without deductible, and virtually anything can happen to those items and you would be reimbursed. However, without scheduling these items, you run the risk of being subject to a limit if it's stolen. Again, you have to refer to your policy to know what those limits are. Also, a default homeowner's policy with no additional endorsements will typically not extend coverage for losing an expensive piece of personal property. Coverage D is your additional living expenses. This is the part of your policy that helps you to pay for the expenses incurred when having to temporarily live somewhere else when your home has been damaged beyond normal living conditions. or the repairs being made force you to live in a temporary housing while construction is underway. The main thing to remember with your coverage is the insurance company will pay reasonable expense for temporary housing and additional living expenses. What that means is that they'll evaluate the value of your home and its insurance and base a rent payment on that. So if your home was insured for $500,000, they would try to put you in a home of similar size and comparable amenities. If you live in a house that's insured for $150,000, they're going to put you into a smaller home or a townhouse. Also, the policy will only pay expensed above and beyond your normal expenses. So if you're in a hotel and you spend $300 a week on food because you don't have a kitchen to cook, and you normally would spend $150 a week on food, the insurance company is only going to reimburse you the $150. Coverage E is your coverage for your personal liability. This is the coverage that protects you against claims that arise from accidents to others on the property that you own. With a few exceptions, such as auto and boating accidents, it's an all-purpose liability policy that follows you wherever you go. And lastly, Coverage F. Coverage F is what covers medical expenses. It's a coverage limited to an amount per person per accident for injuries that occur on your premises to persons other than the insured or elsewhere if caused by you, a member of your family, or your pets. It's an important feature of this coverage that the payment is made regardless of liability. I hope this helps give you a better understanding of your homeowner's insurance policy and what those different coverages are and how they affect your liability, your home, and your personal property. Should you ever have a question about your own policy or about the coverages contained within your policy, please don't hesitate to contact our office, and an agent of Ideal Solutions would be happy to help. Thank you.